Getting that driver's license is a huge deal. But let's be real. The real test isn't about passing an exam. It's what you do every single day on every single road. So today, we're going to dive into the core principles that take a driver from just being licensed to being a genuine lifesaver. So think about this for a second. A motorcycle kicking up dust in Arizona, a sedan cruising in Florida. What could they possibly have in common? Well, the answer is everything that actually matters. Because the bedrock principles of safety, of awareness, of responsibility, they don't care what you're driving or what state you're in. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with what I call the driver's pact. Then we'll get into decoding the secret language of the road. After that, we'll talk about mastering the flow of traffic, what it means to share the road with literally everyone, and finally, how to handle it when things go sideways. First up, the driver's pact. This is this core idea that your license isn't just a piece of plastic that gives you permission to drive. Nope. It's a promise, a commitment you're making to every other person out there. And this quote, man, it just nails it. Every single choice you make behind the wheel, from changing lanes to how fast you're going, it creates this ripple effect. It's not just about you. It's a shared responsibility for keeping everyone safe. Okay, so if you're going to uphold that pact, you first have to speak the language of the road. And I'm talking about that silent communication system, the lines, the signs, the signals. It's kind of wild how just a simple color change completely flips the meaning of a line, right? So yellow lines, they separate traffic going in opposite directions. White lines separate traffic going the same way. So that double solid yellow is basically screaming, danger, oncoming cars, do not pass. The double solid white is more like, hey, stay in your lane, no changing here. A subtle difference, but an absolutely critical one. And it's not just lines. The signs use color to talk to you instantly. Before you can even process the words, your brain sees the color. Red just demands your immediate action. Stop. Yield. Yellow is a heads up, a warning to pay attention. And orange, well, you see orange, you know to slow down and be extra careful for workers or changing road conditions. All right, so you can read the road. Awesome. Now we're moving on to acting on what you see. This is where we shift from just knowing the rules to making those dynamic, split-second decisions that really define a safe driver. So how do you build a safety bubble around your car? It all starts with this number, 4 seconds. That is the bare minimum following distance you should have in good weather. And that's not just empty space, okay? That's your reaction time. That's the buffer between a near miss and a nasty collision. Next time you're out, try this. Pick a sign or a tree. When the car in front of you passes it, start counting. 1001, 1002. If you get to that spot before you hit 4, you are way too close. Now, to manage that buffer and everything else happening around you, expert drivers are constantly running a little program in their heads called SIP Day. It's a loop. You scan the road ahead. You identify anything that could be a hazard, a kid's ball bouncing into the street, a car that's weaving a bit. You predict what could happen next. You decide on your safest move, and then you execute it. It's this nonstop cycle of being aware. And the huge part of that scanning process is knowing what your mirrors don't show you. A blind spot is exactly that. It's blind. Your mirrors are lying to you. So a quick physical turn of your head before you change lanes or merge isn't just a good idea, it is non-negotiable. It's a tiny habit that literally prevents thousands of crashes. But here's the thing, mastering your own vehicle is only half the story. You have to remember you're just one part of a huge ecosystem out there, and you're sharing the road with people of all shapes and sizes, and each one has their own vulnerabilities. And these aren't just polite suggestions. They are critical rules of engagement. You got to give cyclists at least 3 feet of space. Their path can be unpredictable. You have to yield to pedestrians. They've got zero protection. And this is a big one. Motorcyclists get the entire lane. They are not there for you to squeeze by. Understanding these specific needs is everything when it comes to being safe in a shared space. And speaking of other vehicles, we have got to talk about the no zone. These are the gigantic blind spots all around a big truck. Here's the rule of thumb. If you can't see the truck driver's face in their side mirror, they have absolutely no idea you're there. Staying out of that no zone is on you, and it's one of the most important things you can do to stay safe on the highway. Okay, and now for our last section. What happens when, even with all your best efforts, things just go wrong? This is about handling those heart-stopping emergencies and understanding the consequences when rules are broken. Okay, this is a classic panic moment. And your first instinct is completely 100% wrong. You're going to want to yank that wheel back onto the road, right? Don't do it. That's how you lose control and spin out. The right way is to hold the wheel firmly. Ease your foot off the gas, brake gently, and only when you've slowed way down do you check traffic and smoothly steer back onto the pavement. And here's another terrifying one where your instincts will betray you: a tire blowout. Your first thought is to slam on the brakes. Again, do not do that. It will send the car into a skid. Instead, you grip that steering wheel for dear life, get your foot off the gas, and just focus on steering straight while the car slows down by itself. It feels totally counterintuitive, but trust me, it's what will keep you in control. And if you think breaking the rules doesn't have real consequences, well, think again. Look at how quickly these points can add up. It only takes 12 points in a year, a few speeding tickets, maybe running a stop sign, and boom, your license is suspended. The system is designed to catch up with you, and it does. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to this. You can memorize the entire driver's handbook cover to cover, but being a truly safe driver isn't about rules. It's an attitude. It's a mindset of constant awareness, of respect, and of responsibility. A commitment to protecting yourself, your passengers, and every single other person you share the road with. So the next time you get behind the wheel, just remember you're not just driving a car. You are part of that pact. The handbooks, they weigh out the theory, but the real test, that's out there on the road. The question is, what will your driving say about you?